Do you happen to know how he started having tiki mugs made?
You know what?
Was it his idea that someone come up to Shag and be like, you know what, Shag? You should, you should make some mugs.
Yeah. I don't know the exact story.
Well, make one up for me.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Shag with Ray. I'm with my friend Paul Brown. We are in the Riviera Room, which is his tiki bar in Burien, Washington. Yeah. And you have a lot of shag prints.
Yeah.
A lot of shag prints, which actually has spurred this series. But what also, you have a lot of Shag Tiki mugs, yeah. And I'm pleasantly surprised that there's this many, and I'm guessing there's probably even more than this. But, oh my God, there's a lot of Shag Tiki mugs here. And we're going to talk about Paul's Shag Tiki mug collection, which is very impressive, Paul.
Well, thank you.
So where should we start?
Well, one thing that's interesting, just kind of looking at what I have here in whole,
yeah.
Shag to this day continues to make tiki mugs for events. All the mugs here, I believe, are from 2005 or earlier. So these are a lot of his very earliest mugs.
Oh, wow.
And I do have some from later times, but I thought it was kind of fun that, with he really kind of started as a tiki artist, and these are a lot of his earliest mugs. So I start with the ones up here on the top row.
Yeah.
So around, I think it was in 1999, and well, actually there's probably a date on the, so this one is
99.
It's hard, geez. Some of these, they get so old, it's hard. I think it's 2000. So there was an edition in 2000, and then I think an edition a couple years later where he did an edition of 5 mugs, and they sold as a set. So you bought all 5. You couldn't buy them individually.
It twisted my arm. All right, I'll take all 5.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is.
And how much were these mugs back then?
So back then, I think the entire set was $225 for 5 mugs. So, that was...
It's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, geez, that's a little. But, it's no frame of reference then, because I was just kind of getting into tiki and
$225 for 5 mugs.
Now you can easily spend that on 1 mug, Especially if you buy it on the secondary market, where,
oh my God,
Shag recently did a series of mugs with the Book of Tiki. You probably saw that one. And one of the limited edition ones, I see those all over eBay for 500 plus. So anyways, to get back to these, I remember it was also at this fantastic gallery that I used to visit called La Luz de Jesus, which was in the Wacko bookstore in Los Angeles. So these were there, and it's funny. I remember, the first time I bought a set, and they're all wrapped up in all this, big brown paper, and it was pretty exciting to get the whole set and, unwrap them all. And they come with these little, I don't have them on there, but they come with these little, each one comes with a tag that says the name of each mug has a name. And it also is what number, that
123 or 250.
Yeah. So, the nice thing about buying, the whole set, you get all the same number mug. And so I bought a set, and then I was married in 2002. So, we're used to now when stuff, especially shag mugs, come out, they sell out immediately. Well, back then, they had these for sale for, quite a while, where, they were, I remember they were even the kind of like behind the counter. I think there was like a little display.
Like literally gathering dust.
Yeah. And so I remember, I got married in 2002, and I thought, it'd be kind of cool. I'll buy another set. And I had 5 people in my wedding party. Yeah. And so as, I guess, it's a tradition, you give everybody a little gift. So I gave all 5 of the people in my wedding party a mug from a set.
Oh my God!
I don't know if I've ever asked them. I think my brother and my sister were one. I think my brother still has it. I think he's got pens in it. I don't know if everybody else kept their mug. Hopefully they did.
So So we got one. So this is this one, and this one part of that set.
So I think it was these 5 were from one set, and
so
then
let's take a look at these. So okay, see that?
Yeah.
So this was one of them.
Yeah. And if I remember right, what they did is the first and the second set were the same, I believe, but in a different glaze. So if you look at this one, so this is the only one I have that is from one mug from both sets. But you can see it's the same mug.
Yes.
But it's in a different glaze.
Is it the same mug? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. It's funny just how different it can make it look having a different kind of color to the glaze.
I think
So this one was 2000. Does that one? Can you read still on the
2000.
Oh, so they're both
Tiki Farm.
Yeah.
And is this part of it too? Part of that collection?
Mm-hmm.
And this has a very. So this is 2000, and this is very. I've seen a lot of Disney mugs that look and feel like this.
Yeah.
And this is almost like a precursor to that.
Yeah, I kind of think of those as a little bit almost like a totem tiki. You know,
yeah.
You kind of got 2 tikis on top of each other. So, although this one is kind of my favorite.
Is it?
You know, it I think it references some of the more traditional tiki images you see from some of the Polynesian areas in some of the tiki carvings.
This is 2000.
Yeah,
and I love that it is smaller. I do love it, man. That is cool. I think so far, I like this one. I like it. That's traditional. It's like the traditional old school tiki mug.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of it's almost like the same glaze as the kahiki mugs, which is, I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's just a moai. It's a moai, and it's a design that's been used over and over and over again. But what I like is I like that dark brown.
Yeah.
So boom, boom. Is this part of the same collection?
Yeah.
There's weight to this one.
Yeah. Oh, and this one too, because this one's similar, but it's a larger size. From the beginning of when he really kind of started having shows, he had tiki images at the beginning, almost in every one of his, paintings. I think what maybe I've read at some point is, like the very first tiki events, they didn't even have like a mug or a shirt. It wasn't until they started having a few events where people were like, hey, do a mug or a shirt. And I think it started to, to come out of that.
Yeah.
I know, like, I think I have a print here, like that Tiki Oasis was from 2002. Yeah. So, I know, like, I don't even know for that one if they had a mug. But I'm guessing that probably, Tiki Farm, which was really kind of, starting up at that point, probably approached him and be like, hey, this would be a great idea. But it is interesting to think back that, they didn't sell out immediately. I mean, I think some of these were there for, over a year where you could still go in if you wanted to buy the whole set.
Well, what I love about these mugs is, like, I mean, when you're talking about Shag's art, it's two-dimensional, it's hanging on a wall.
Yeah.
And I think what's awesome about something like a mug, and then he has gone on to make various other products, but I mean, like, here it is, you're holding like that tiki that's in that painting.
Yep.
I'm holding it in my hand as a mug. That's pretty awesome.
It is. It's kind of
this takes things to like a whole different level.
Yeah. The downside is to me, tiki mugs are just a great expression of functional art, something that's artistic that you can use,
and unfortunately something that could break.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this guy here in the front.
So at this point, when this was made, does it have I'm not sure what year the Disneyland Enchanted Tiki Room.
Oh, the 40th anniversary.
Yeah. So this was a mug that.
And from this angle,
yeah,
everything looks fine. What happened here, Paul?
So.
What happened?
So this was in when I lived in West Seattle, and I kind of had I didn't have a tiki bar. I would think what you would call like a tiki living room. Yeah. So I had this little bamboo shelf on the wall with a few mugs, and my son, he was probably there maybe 3 to 4, and those real bouncy balls you get, you bounce. Yeah. So he had one of those in the house, and I still remember it because I was standing there when it happened, and it was like he threw the ball, and it was almost like a slow-mode episode of the Brady Bunch. I saw it go up, and it kind of hit, and the mug is kind of like I was far enough away. I just couldn't get it over, and
You're trying to do that.
Yeah, and it just toppled down. It's almost kind of surprising that it didn't break more than it did. That it just didn't completely shatter. So fortunately, from the front, it looks pretty intact. I still kind of have some of the pieces in here I could kind of glue back, but it.
Yeah, well, you're not going to drink out of these anymore.
No,
anyway.
well, that's kind of one of the things I was going to say about, when, very quickly as his stuff started getting so collectible, I think when I very first got these, I would occasionally drink out of them, but...
No, you wouldn't even think about that.
No, now I don't, I don't drink out of his tiki mugs. So.
Hey, gang, we'll get back to the tiki conversation here in just a second, but I want to let y'all know they have t-shirts for sale. They are screen printed in America. The artist is Tony Canepa. And they're going for $20 a piece, $25 including shipping. If you're interested in buying one, go to my website, tikiwithray.com, and then there's a tab that says buy a t-shirt. Click on there and just follow the prompts. So thank you very much. So you have 3 giant size tiki mugs. Let's talk about these.
So this one, I'm trying to remember. So this is kind of a neat card that came... It was the show, so it was kind of a combo show with Shag and Von Franco and the Piz. So they all kind of had pieces in the show, and so this was a mug that came out from that show. One of the things that's really fun is the spear is removable.
Yes,
so
it is.
Yeah, so you can take it out, and you kind of have this that is representing the shield on there. Obviously, a very large mug, and I also kind of like it that it's in. A little bit different color than what you traditionally see in a tiki mug, especially back then. But it's interesting too, looking at, if you look at it up close, they've gotten so much better, I think, when they fire and color mugs, how you can kind of see like the coloring isn't as, I think.
No, it's pretty basic.
It's pretty basic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that a mug that would have been made, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But it's still awesome, though.
It is. And from the same show, I got I don't know what you call it. It's kind of almost like a little dish, and there's 3 faces on it of the 3 artists that, Shag being one of them, that were in the show. It even came with a spare spear because I'm sure there's people that lose their spears. Just in case, or you can,
use it to stir your drink, I guess.
Stir your drink or put your cherries on there. So, and then, last but not least, these 2, if you want to pick up the yellow one. So this...
Mondo Tiki.
It says that on the back. So this
is a big-ass mug.
Yeah, they are. This was an amazing event. It was at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. It was a huge tiki event. In 2003.
Okay.
And it was the wildest tiki event I've ever been to. I mean, think about, Vegas. You throw Vegas on top of a tiki event at the Hard Rock, which now I believe they just tore down the Hard Rock Hotel. They're putting in a different... so these were a pair of mugs that were at the event. And what's kind of neat is... He signed them, and it's kind of amazing that it hasn't worn off. I never used them.
Yeah, never drink out of them. That's
it's wore off a little bit, but it was just a fantastic event, all kind of around the pool. A lot of drinking in the sun, but these are really fun mugs. I was really glad.
And this is for 2 people too.
Yeah.
There's 2 holes.
They actually were shipped this way, taped, and you can see there's still
there's some kind of
the newspaper is probably from 2003.
Unbelievable.
And actually one of the other things I got at this event, and I think I have it right here, is they did casino chips.
What? Oh my God!
That have like the Shag Tiki.
Mondo Tiki casino chips.
Yeah.
No cash value. But oh my God,
just kind of like a fun souvenir, and I got a really cool T-shirt that they had at the event. It was kind of a bummer. It was kind of one of those events that it was so much fun. I was like hoping it was going to continue, but it didn't. For what reason? I'm not even sure who kind of organized it or put it on, but it was a lot of fun.
So what's blowing my mind is, essentially, we're talking about Shag Tiki mugs that have been made between 2000 and 2003.
Yeah.
So that means there's many, many more Tiki mugs that have been made after that. It isn't like, here you go, here's all the mugs that Shag has made. This is just the beginning.
Oh, I wonder. I bet probably the only person that has probably every one is Shag himself. You know.
Yeah, Shag, do you have all the mugs?
I would love.
If you do, can you put a like he's watching?
Yeah.
My goal, no, seriously, Paul. My goal of this whole series is to just have him watch an episode.
Yeah.
And not turn it off in disgust. If I can get Shag to watch one of these videos and be like,
give it a like,
that's okay.
Well,
I've succeeded.
It's crossed my mind that as I talk about his career and art, I'm sure I got something wrong, and I could see him typing in there.
I'm sorry, Paul, that's not correct.
What are you talking about?
But I'll tell you what, these mugs are incredible, and I love it because not only is it Shag history, this is like Tiki Mug history too.
Yeah.
I mean, because Tiki Mugs have come a long ways themselves.
Yeah.
From the early 2000s to what we have now.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the mugs that are out there now are like pieces of art.
Yeah.
But these are art. This is art too. I just love the fact that we're getting Shag off the wall and into your hand. Trader Vic's Tiki Party.
You know what? You know what's funny?
None of the drinks in that are good.
No.